Statman here. We are doing see here, chapter 4, day 4, designing studies. And today we're going to go through meticulously as much as possible how to use random digits to do a simulation or to select groups, etc., that kind of stuff. So you got to follow the cursor here a little bit. So this part you can pause and write on your own. But there are basically, when they ask you to develop a simulation or a design of something using randomness, you got to go through a few things. One, you have to label every single digit must have a purpose. So you got to label them as the usables and the unusables. And we're going to go through that down here. Usually I use let statements. I don't have them here, but I say let something. Let 00 to 39 be something. Let 40 to 99 be something, for example. Then you got to do a brief explanation of how they're going to be selected. You got to talk about if repeats are allowed or not. So repeats are allowed if you're representing a percentage. But if each digit is representing a person, repeats aren't allowed because you can't choose them twice. And so you got to talk about, you got to label all the digits. You got to say what are the unusables and whether repeats are allowed. That's what you got to do. So let's go through this, some right and wrong ways to do this, okay? So copy that down. Try to use as few digits as possible. So if you have 10 numbers, 10 people, try to use the digits 0 through 9. If you have 90 people, use 00 to 99, but you'll have some unusable. So let's try this, okay? So let's look at 1A. 1A is a people problem. A people problem, you cannot have repeats, okay? So Mr. Nguyen's 5th period class is too large. He wants to randomly select 5 to move into another class. How can he select those 5 lucky kids? Okay, so he's got method 1 talks about those 40 kids being labeled 00 to 39. That's excellent. You could also label 01 to 40. That's okay too. You can actually do anything you want, but they forgot to write the unusable. So there's all kinds of unusable numbers. In this case, 40 to 99. If you did 01 to 40, then it would be 41 to 99 plus 00's unusable. Okay. And then they forgot to say this, the first 5 unique numbers, this basically is saying no repeats allowed. Okay, because you can't move the same kid twice. Method 2 is super bizarre. I won't even go through it. Method 1 is basically the right way to do it. Okay, let's go to 1B. 1B has 840 students that are going to be in a drawing. They're people, so there are no repeats allowed. Okay, so 840 can be represented 000 to 839, or you could do 001 to 840. That's fine. Now, the other ones are not losers, as stated here. They are the unusable numbers. Don't forget to label unusable. So 840 to 999 represents no one. There's no kids with those numbers. And then I put the next 10 unique winners, the little directions. Basically, no repeats allowed. Okay, there are my usable numbers. Okay, there are my unusable numbers. And then there's no repeats allowed. Okay, method 2 kind of reduces. You can't reduce and use the numbers differently. You have to just label people. Don't worry about method 2. It's a little crazy. Method 3, I tried to show you in these, like, just common errors, but it might confuse you in a video. Okay. Method 3 is representing 75%. 3 out of 4. This is stuff you can reduce because it's not people. You can actually reduce this. So 75%. So I could do 01 to 75 is a made free throw, 01 to 75. And then 76 to 99 is a miss. If I do it that way, you can't forget to say 00 is unusable. Or I could have gone 00 to 74 is a make, and 75 to 99 is a miss. You could do that as well, because 00 to 74 is actually 75% of the two-digit numbers. And then I'm going to look at the first 100 two-digit numbers to see how many misses occurred. Now, this repeats are allowed. For example, the number 51 represents a make. If it happened twice, that's no big deal. It still represents a make. It's not a person. Now, this is interesting. Method 2 actually works. I could do 1 to 3 is a make, doing single digits, and 4 is a miss. But the problem is I have a lot of unusable numbers. 0 and 5 through 9 are unusable if I wanted to go by single digits. That's kind of an issue. Or I could do it. I have some fancy ones down here. Don't worry about that. Just focus on this one. I could definitely do it that way too if I wanted to reduce. Okay? All right. And again, repeats are allowed in percentages. Here's asthma, Smogville. Asthma rate's 5%. 5%, I need double-digit numbers. So I went 01 to 05 as asthma. Again, I could do 00 to 04 is asthma. I could. The way I did it here, 01 to 05 is asthma, and 06 to 99 and 00 are unusable, not no asthma. I'm sorry, not they're 06 to 99 is no asthma, and 00, this unusable shouldn't be there. Okay. And then this is the best way to do it right here. Okay. 00 to 04 is asthma, 05 to 99 is no asthma. Okay. And again, repeats are allowed. There's no unusable numbers here, and repeats are allowed. Now let's try this. Let's try problem 1A, which is moving a few students. I'm going to go 00 to 39, okay? And I'm just going to use line 101 each time, okay? So let me bring in line 101. Remember on this one, 00 to 39 are the key numbers, okay? I may have some unusables, and I've got quite a few. So let's go to line 101. Let me bring this in, okay? Line 101, see right there. Okay, line 101, right in here, oops, it's a little bigger. Okay, the first number is in the way right there. Whoops, messed that up. Okay, line 101, the first number is 19. You can see that, it's not real zoomed in there. First number is 19. The second number is 23. Okay, those are all eligible. The third one is 39. Okay, that's the third student. The fourth student's 50. That doesn't exist. The fifth student is 34. That does exist. And the sixth student is 05 or something like that. Those first five. So it's 19 is the first student. Sorry, look at my fingers. 22 is the second. 39 is the third. 50 is unusable. 34 is the fourth. And 05 is the fifth. There we go. Got it. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So let's, I'm not going to use line 101 anymore. I don't like it's at the top of the thing there. Now, by the way, the test will tell you what line number to use. Okay, they'll always tell you, and it's always the same digit table. You could use a calculator for random digits, but we always use a table. Okay, now let's try line 135, and we'll do a few winners from this prompt. This prompt, the numbers are 00 to 839 are the people. See if they won or not. 00 to 839. Okay. So I'm going to use line, let's see here. I will use line 135. Okay. Line 135. Okay. So here we go. Line, make this bigger. Line 135 down here. First, I got to go by 3 digits. 669. Look at the cursor. Is the first winner. Then 255 is the second winner. 565 is the third winner. 839 is the fourth winner. Barely made it in my description. And then 100 is the fourth winner. 784 is the fifth, etc. You can't have repeats on that. Okay. So there's that one. Okay. Next one. Let's do do one for C, problem C. Let's do a few shots here. If you're trying to label these shots, let's use 01 to 75 as a make and 76 to 99 and 00 is a miss. So 01 to 75 is a make, all right? And I'll use line 108. By the way, I don't do this 10 different times. I just have tons of examples. I use line 108 right here. 108, okay? Okay, there's 108. 60, that's a make. 94 is a miss. 07 is a make. Remember, repeats are allowed. 20 is a make. 24 is a make. 17 is a make. 86 is a miss. 82 is a miss, etc. Okay? And the last one is the Smogville question. I'm going to use line 1. I'll use line 112. Okay? Line 112 is a good one because it has a repeat in there, I see. So line 112, and the Smogville problem, if you scroll back up, has to do with 5%. I'll use 00 to 04 has asthma. Remember, 00 to 04 is actually 5 numbers. 00, look at my fingers, 01, 02, 03, 04. 00 to 04 is 5 numbers. And then 05 to 99 doesn't have asthma. So let me go to line, what did I say? Line 112, okay? Bring this in here. Line 112. Okay, first, I said that, line 112. Okay, so we got 59 is a no asthma, 63 no asthma, 68 no asthma, 88 no asthma, 04 asthma, and then 04 again. Now that's allowed because these are not like people to be divided up. You're simulating a percent, so that's okay. So if you're counting how many in the first 10 people, that's no, 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 yes asthma, 04 asthma, 63 asthma, no asthma, 41 no asthma, 11 no asthma, 97 no asthma, 19 no asthma, 35 no asthma, 27 no asthma, 30 no asthma, etc. You get the idea to go through that. Okay? It's really simple, this method. Now, keep in mind, the notes have way too many practice problems. Way too many. It's ridiculous. I just put them on there in case you wanted to practice some more on your own, you could. Okay? So remember, go back to the directions. There's things you have to do on an FRQ. One, you got to label all the digits. Label the numbers that are used and what they're used for. Label the numbers that are not being used, okay, or say no unusables. Say if repeats are allowed, okay, and then give small directions on what you're going to be doing, okay? Hope that helps. That is day 4 of chapter 4, and that is it. Statman out.